Okay, here we go. Here we go with a bunch of sports. Yeah, we got a lot of sports to go over tonight. Let's make sure all that happens. Get that going for you here real fast. Yeah, okay, stop spinning with the thing and the sound and the red line. There we go. Hey, we got a lot of sports to get through tonight. Let me get this thing shared around. We'll get this show on the road. We'll get this baby going. Got Major League Baseball, 2 games going on. We've got our MLS and NFL predictions for the weekend. We've got some stories I'd like to go over. A few stories that we need to get to the bottom of. And there you go. That's what we got. That's what we got going on tonight. So hopefully your sports weekend is shaping up just the way you want it. And all your sports are turning out the way that you want them to. Like I say, we've got a lot of sports in here. I had to scrape the sports off the bottom of my shoe when I came in here. Dolores Colbert says, well. Hello, Dolores. How are you? How's it going? Are you out gambling? Or is that going to be later in the weekend? What's your gamble of choice? Mine is doing radio 5 days a week. I'd like to know what your gamble of choice is. Hello, Dolores. They got plenty of gambling there in Oklahoma, that's for sure. The biggest gamble in Oklahoma is... I can't say it. It's not polite. It's not polite at all. I think Dolores is aware. Those of us in Texas have a rather dim view of Oklahoma. Dolores says, I fell asleep. You cross that Red River, man. You're taking a chance. You are taking a chance. So... Yep, she says she knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's no need to explain it any further. And I'm sure the folks in Oklahoma have a similar view of Texas, although, come on, man. That's not... It's not going to work out very well for you when you compare the two states. I mean, I just don't know what to say about that. Hey, here we go. Last one, and then we'll do Twitter. I'll get our Twitter posting done, then we'll do this show. We will do it up. Doris says, both casinos 9 miles from me, different directions. Hey, man. Nothing wrong with that. Whoops, wrong thing. I think Morty and Rosie are probably on the road right now. Coming back from the cabin. It's just a guess. I don't know that for sure. But we'll see. Live streaming. Sports talk. MLB Playoffs. NFL. Hashtag MLS. Hashtag UFC. Let's see if I get a good UFC thing going on here. Let me just see. UFC Vegas. UFC. I think it's at 254 this weekend. I'm just going to put UFC. And anything in the room? Romantic getaway. Well, Rosie, lucky you. Lucky you. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Come on now. Post for me. Come on, Twitter. Be good to me. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Oh, Morty and Rosie, romantic getaway. I don't know. I think they had the kids with them and stuff. But they went up to the cabin. That's what they told me. Anyway, with all that being said, why don't we just get things going here and do the show? What do you say?
Tom was a white male. Always invited to the cookout.
Always.
But he spit straight hot fire. Okay? You said who Who is the best commentator on Facebook Live? Tom.
Because he spit hot fire.
Because he spit hot fire.
Yo,
He even got the last name. Gulley, man.
And let me tell you this too. Tom potato salad good.
No raisins.
It ain't bland. No raisins. No raisins.
I don't care who owned the Chiefs. I hate it here. Make me sick. My allergy. Puke every time. Blah, like that. Puke.
Well, you're a goalie. You're supposed to be like that.
Somebody owned the Chiefs. We go to Florida and I get the money.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Let me answer that. You know, that is an absolute crock of. You know, you people in the news media, all of you dwell on some negative piece of like that, and I don't know how Steve feels about it, but it just. And you don't have to bleep one single word of this.
That it doesn't work for me. I gotta have more cowbell.
Hi, I'm Jim Harbaugh of the Indianapolis Colts, and I recommend that you wear a helmet while listening to the show.
Well, get your helmet on, get your chin strapped. We've got sports on our Friday Sports Spectacular. I'm Tom Gulley, and tonight we're going to cover Major League Baseball. We'll keep you updated throughout the evening until the show's over anyway. And we're going to give you our NFL and MLS predictions. Take a look at the weekend schedules for both of those sports. I'll cover some interesting stories of the day. One involves Myles Garrett. I just can't believe. Anyway, and maybe we'll take a look at the UFC as well. We have in our chat room right now Dolores Colbert. She is foregoing a trip to the casinos to be with us. So this is a big money show. Big money. Big money. Major League Baseball, bottom of the eighth. It's actually the end of 8 innings. Astros 7. Tampa Bay mounting a bit of a comeback. They have 4 now as the Astros will come to bat in the top of the ninth. In that other championship series, the Braves have a 2-0 lead at the bottom of 2 over the LA Dodgers. But the Dodgers do have men on first and second right now with 1 out. So the Dodgers mounting a bit of a rally, hopefully for them. Patriots have another positive COVID test. An ex-Angels employee indicted in the Tyler Skaggs overdose death. Nick Saban could possibly be coaching on Saturday. They say Le'Veon Bell could make up to $1.6 million with the Chiefs this year. And the NFL has conditionally restated free agent defensive end David Irving. And that's about it. Got a little bit of a barn burner in college football. Final overtime, SMU 37, Tulane 34. SMU escaping Tulane to keep their undefeated record in line. So that being said, why don't we just get to the NFL predictions of the week? It says, bring Myles Garrett. Okay, bring him on. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. That's chapping me bad. But, well, why don't we just do that story first? The Browns are saying we're past that as a team. We're past that. Because, they're going to play the Steelers this weekend. And I got to tell you, he keeps saying it's in the past. Dude, that was last year. It's not in the past. You're lucky to be playing football right now. That was one of the most... He keeps claiming a certain word was heard that nobody else heard. No cameras picked it up. No sound picked it up. Nobody else said that but him. No. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And by the way, if it was said, man, I played sport. Things get said. Not that he should stand for that. If it was said, I'm going to kind of give him a pass. But I just don't think it was. I'm sorry. I do not think it was. Let me see if I can find anything on that in the Browns, because there's a press conference clippings and stuff on that, and I just don't buy it. I mean, I just don't buy it. Let me see. We got news. They don't really have a news section here. Let me see if I can find anything on it. He says they're past the helmet swinging incident. He expects a clean, fair game. Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett said today he's gotten over last year's incident. Well, I'm glad you've gotten over it. You poor thing. Against the Steelers, in which he ripped the helmet off of Mason Rudolph and slugged the Pittsburgh quarterback in the head with it. He hit him in the head with it. Garrett, who received a season-ending suspension for the incident, said he's expecting a clean game for Sunday's rematch in Pittsburgh. Why are they asking you what you expect of other people? If there's not going to be a clean game, probably your name would be on the top of the list as reasons why, pal. Look, if you play the rest of your career, you never have another problem, fine. People will remember it. It'll kind of go away. But this was last year. You were suspended the rest of the season. Don't act like, well, I'm okay now. Don't anybody worry about me. No, you were the jerk. Dolores Colbert says, I'm not over it. Oh, Dolores is a Steelers fan. Garrett missed the final 6 games. Oh, he says, we'll see when we play. But their head coach said they're past it. We're past it as a team. We're ready to go out there and play ball. What do you think Mike Tomlin's going to say? Yeah, we're all going to headhunt that guy. And he's not going to say anything but we're past it. Garrett missed the final 6 games of the season, was fined $45,000 and lost roughly $1.2 million in salary for the incident, which came in the closing seconds of Cleveland's 21-7 victory on November 14th. That's another thing. Cleveland's up 21-7. Privately and appealing his suspension and later publicly on ESPN's Outside the Lines, Garrett accused Rudolph of inciting him by calling him the N-word. Both Rudolph and Tomlin have denied the accusation. On Tuesday, Tomlin said last year's incident wouldn't have any impact on Sunday's game and that his team was not looking for that low-hanging fruit or that reality TV storyline. Garrett said that he'll be focused on playing within the whistle. Oh, how nice of you. Said he doesn't expect a warm welcome in front of the 6,000 fans who will be allowed inside Heinz Field on Sunday. I mean, we're the Browns. I expect to get booed. It ain't that it's the Browns, Miles. It's 'cause it's you. Cupcake. Browns are off to their best start since 94 at 4-1. The Steelers are 4-0 for the first time since 79 when they went on to win the Super Bowl. Cleveland hasn't won in Pittsburgh in 17 years. We get a win there, Garrett said, and most people would give us some respect and see us as a legit team across the league, but everybody's going to think about you as a punk. That's all. And so, look, if you want to go there and play football and keep your head down and do your job, I'm all behind you. But when you start saying things like, I'm over it, don't worry about it, it's in the past. Dude, when you say something's in the past, those words you said are in the past. The past is everything that's happened up to this second. It's in the immediate past. It was last season. It was the last time you played the Browns. So don't give the big, hey, I'm over it. I'm doing okay. It just comes off as BS. You know? Obviously, you're not over it. You went on 2 different national TV shows and in your NFL investigation accused a guy of doing something nobody else heard him say. And you took your helmet off and swung it at a guy's head. If you'd have injured him, severely injured him, you wouldn't be playing right now. Your biggest achievement in that incident is you suck at swinging a football helmet. Dolores Colbert says, like it wasn't his fault. Exactly. Oh, pity me. You know, no mea culpas, no, hey, what I did last year was obviously the worst moment of my life. I wish I could take it back. I can't. And I hope everyone will forgive me, and we're just going to move on and play the game. I could live with that, but I'm over it. It's in the past. I know a guy locally that did a bunch of stuff in the past, and people started shunning him. And he was like, that was in the past. That was a year ago. Dude, that ain't that long ago in people's memories. It just isn't. Bottom of the ninth, nobody out. Tampa Bay losing to the Astros 7-4. We'll see if they can get a little something going as the Astros try to tie that series up at 2-2. At the end of 2, Dodgers still losing to the Braves 2-0. So let's go into the NFL. We'll look at the schedule. I'll give you my predictions. Morty Vicker is here. He says, hey, guys. Hey, guys. Tell you something else. I'd like to hear how Morty Vicker feels about Myles Garrett going, I'm over that helmet swinging thing. It's in the past. Okay. All right. Nice cop-out. I wouldn't answer any questions about that. I'd say, I was wrong. Let's play football. That's what I'd say. Here we go. NFL schedule. Let's get our picks in order. Houston is at Tennessee. Titans playing very well. I'm going to have to go with Tennessee. Cincinnati at Indianapolis. Is that even a choice? Indianapolis. Atlanta at Minnesota. Two teams that just vexate me every time they play. Minnesota got off the schneid last week. I don't think Atlanta can lose forever, but they are at Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota. Denver at New England. This is kind of a tough one, but Cam Newton, I believe, will be back. If that game even happens, they had another positive test for COVID in New England. We'll see if that game even happens on Sunday. But if it does, on Sunday, I will take New England. The Washington football team at the New York Giants. Man, oh man. It's not the most attractive matchup on the schedule, but I will take the Washington football team with their quarterback problems over New York. Baltimore at Philadelphia. I'm going to have to take Baltimore, even though they're weasels on the field goal thing from last week's game. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. I will take Pittsburgh. Chicago at Carolina. I'm going to ride the Nick Foles hype train and take Chicago. Detroit at Jacksonville. Give me Detroit. New York at Miami. The Jets taking on the Dolphins. I will take Miami at home. Green Bay at Tampa Bay. Tampa's at home. It's Brady versus Rodgers, but I will go ahead and take Green Bay. We've got the Rams at San Francisco. San Francisco, a lot of problems right now. I'll take the Rams. Kansas City at Buffalo. Kansas City will not have Le'Veon Bell for this game, but I'll take them anyway. Arizona at Dallas. Man, that's a toughie. I really like Arizona's offense. I really don't like Dallas's defense. Dallas does have Andy Dalton. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Dallas plays well at home. Gimme. What do you guys think? I'll come back to that one. And the teams with the bye this week are Las Vegas, New Orleans, the Chargers, and the Seattle Seahawks. Arizona at Dallas in the big Sunday showcase. Monday night showcase. Man, oh man. That Kansas City Buffalo game will start Monday at 3 o'clock. So Dolores wants Dallas. Well, Morty, who do you think? Who do you think on that? I don't know. I really like Arizona's offense, but Dallas tends to play well at home, especially after a loss. Cardinals are 3-2, and they are third in the NFC West. So Tyler Schollenberger says Titans, Colts, Vikings, Washington, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Jacksonville, Miami, Ty, Rams, Buffalo, Arizona. If Arizona's good enough for Tyler Schollenberger, Arizona's good enough for me. By golly. Tyler, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's check out Major League Soccer very quickly, and then we'll come back to that Major League Baseball Championship Series and see what's up. We'll see what's up. All right, Saturday, 2 matches. Chicago Fire hosting Sporting Kansas City. Give me Sporting Kansas City, even though they're on the road. Montreal Impact taking on Inter Miami in Montreal. Give me the Montreal Impact. Columbus Crew hosting NYCFC. God, I hate the Columbus Crew, but I am going to have to pick them at home. New York Red Bulls, Orlando City in New York. I will take Orlando City. FC Cincinnati and DC United. It's in Cincinnati. Give me Cincinnati. Toronto FC and Atlanta United FC. That's in Toronto. I'll take Toronto FC. Minnesota United and the Houston Dynamo. 2 teams desperately, well, Houston really desperately in need of a win. Gosh, Minnesota is such a grinder. I'm going to go against my better judgment and take Houston. Portland Timbers hosting LAFC. Timbers losing 2-1 to RSL, and LAFC losing this week as well. Oh, man. LAFC has just lost all of their firepower. They are still 4th in the Western Conference. That might be a tie, but I'm gonna go take the Timbers. LA Galaxy, Vancouver Whitecaps in LA. Give me Vancouver. San Jose Earthquakes and Seattle Sounders. The Earthquakes are just insanely erratic. They blow people out, they get blown out. Seattle losing a match this week. I'm gonna have to go with Seattle on that one. And then there's a postponed match between Colorado and Real Salt Lake. So the RSL will not play until like 12 days from now or something like that. Anyway, there's my Major League Soccer picks. Let's go back to Major League Baseball, see what's shaking there, and then we'll look at some other stories of the day. End of the ninth, game over. Astros 7, Tampa Bay Rays 4. That series is tied 3-3. And at the top of the third with 1 down, Braves 2, Dodgers 0. There we go. Let me see here. This Tyler Skaggs thing is just terrible. Let's see. Tyler says Dak Prescott's injury killed Dallas's team morale. I think there's some truth to that. I also think it's going to take Andy Dalton a little while to get comfortable there. And people saying hi to Dolores, and Tyler's doing pretty good. Good deal, Tyler. Federal grand jury indicted former Los Angeles Angels communication director Eric Kay yesterday on charges related to the 2019 death of Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs. According to the indictment, Kay, who told federal agents he provided drugs to Skaggs, is charged with distributing a controlled substance that resulted in Skaggs' death and for possessing with intent to distribute the opioid fentanyl. Skaggs was found dead on July 1st, 2019 after asphyxiating on his own vomit, and an autopsy found oxycodone, ethanol, and fentanyl in the pitcher's system. Skaggs was 27. Law enforcement officials have told ESPN they believe Skaggs snorted oxycodone and was likely unaware it contained fentanyl, a powerful and deadly drug sometimes added to other drugs to make the effects more potent. It's so weird that somebody in the team's front office is the one that was supplying him drugs. According to a 2019 ESPN investigation, Kay told Drug Enforcement Administration agents last year he had given Skaggs several oxycodone pills before the team left for a series in Texas where Skaggs died, and that the two had an ongoing arrangement by which Skaggs paid for their drugs and Kay obtained them from dealers. Kay told investigators that he saw Skaggs snort oxycodone in his hotel room the night he died, but that he did not believe the drugs Skaggs took that night were the same ones Kay had given to him before the trip. Kay told agents that one line of crushed pills was not a substance he recognized. Prosecutors said in August they planned to charge Kay with drug-related distribution offenses, but at the time they did not indicate they would charge him in Skaggs' death. At the time, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas issued a statement indicating that after Skaggs' autopsy, it was later ascertained that but for the fentanyl, Mr. Skaggs would not have died. There we go. There we go. That is absolutely amazing to me. I mean, come on. Dolores Colbert said guilty. Yeah, I don't. It's just staggering to me that somebody, the communications director, is getting this guy drugs. Absolutely, just staggering. Just when you thought the New York Jets couldn't be suckier or more of a dumpster fire, today, defensive coordinator Greg Williams took a veiled shot at Coach Adam Gase's offense, suggesting the defensive struggles aren't entirely the fault of the defense. There's an interesting theory. The 0-5 Jets, who face the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, are allowing 32.2 points per game, worse than every team except the Dallas Cowboys. It's not a very good number, and a lot of it's not all defensively, Williams said after Friday's practice. It's points on the board, and we've got to do a good job of that, and how you do that is make them kick more field goals. Got to do a better job in field position type things. As you see, scoring is up in the league, but it still makes me sick. 7 words hung in the air. A lot of it's not all defensively. When asked what he meant by that, Williams turned cryptic. You'd have to figure that out. The embattled gas wasn't available to comment, as he had already spoken to reporters. Williams was probably referring to the fact that the offense was responsible for 12 points allowed, a pair of Sam Darnold interceptions returned for touchdowns in a Week 3 loss to the Colts. The offense has also made it tough on the defense by averaging only 15 points per game and ranking near the bottom of the league in total yards and time of possession. Maybe that would do it. Yeah. Dolores says, what? Well, and in truth, if your offense can't gain any yardage and you're in bad field position all the time, I mean, there's a lot of football teams that aren't going to do that well. The middle of 3, still Atlanta 2, LA 0, so the Dodgers will be getting their at-bats quite soon. And but I still can't believe that story out of Los Angeles. I just still can't believe it. Just terrible. Nothing really else going on in Major League Baseball except those 2 championship series. And let's get to the UFC here in a second. Garoppolo will be playing the Rams as his ankle feels great. Andy Dalton says, my job is to keep the offense how Dak had it. Falcons wide receiver Jones back, expected to play in Minnesota. And there's a few updates on things going on in the NFL. So let me just check out the UFC real quick for our friends Morty and Rosie. It's a UFC fight night. That'll be in Abu Dhabi, of course. Come on, man. Come on, man. I want to see a fight. Okay, Ortega takes on Jung in the big match. I am going to lean toward Ortega in that one. I'm going to take Ortega. Chukagian is taking on Andrade, and I am going to look to Chukagian. 2 ladies getting it on. Krut and Busauskas facing each other. I'll take Busauskas on that one. Silva takes on Kraus. Kraus, very experienced. Silva with a 14-1-0 record. Wow, that looks like a great match. I'll take Silva. Almeida and Martinez. Almeida 22-3-0 out of Brazil. And Martinez 12-3-0. Give me Martinez. In the prelims, let me see here. Dolores Colbert, the whole team sucks all the time. I say scrap the Jets and replace them with the Canadian team, maybe. That's funny. Gamrot is taking his undefeated record of 17-0 against Kutata Ladze. I'm going to go... Wait a minute. Give me Gamrot. Robertson and Botello. Those are two ladies. I'm going to take Robertson. Park and Phillips. I will take Park. Malarkey and Ziam. I will take Malarkey. Antigulov and Grishin. I will take Grishin. Grishin is 38-2. 38-2. Antigulov is 27-0. Very experienced fighters there. I am going to say this is Habib's brother, Nurmagomedov, and taking on Striegel. I will take Habib's brother. There you go. There you go. I don't know. Let's see. Morty says, sorry, Tom, I'm driving. Hopefully Morty is not laughing so hard. I'm going to take Young in that fight against Ortega, now that I think of it. Or as Morty calls him, the Korean Zombie. The Korean Zombie. Oh, it's not his brother? I just assumed it was with the same last name. Maybe that's like Smith over in Kazakhstan or wherever. So who knows? Anyway, I took who I took. That's who I took. But drive safely, Morty. You, Rosie, and the kids, drive safely. I hate it that the Astros have tied up that series. But you know what? I think that puts us back close to or at the top of the Rays rotation, and I think that's good for them. So bottom of the third, nobody out. Dodgers at bat. And let's just see what's happening there. We have Kelly pitching for the Dodgers. At the plate is Ozuna, and he's got a 3-2 count right now. Nobody down. And nobody on. Let's see the payoff pitch. Kelly, he on 2 strikes. He threw 2 sinkers, both 95 miles an hour. There is a shot. It is into center field, and Ozuna, I believe, will take first base. I think that is a single for Ozuna. Diarno is coming up to bat for the Rays with a man on first and nobody out. So things getting a little worse for the Dodgers. Hold on a second here. First pitch is a ball, a knuckleball curve, 87 miles an hour, low. It's low. Anyway, let me see if I can find any other sports to tell you about. If not, that was going to do it for our Friday night, because I can't sit here for another 6 innings. Much as I'd like to. None of these games are even on TV tonight. What's up with that? Well, they're on TV, but they're just not on my TV. They're just not on the good TV. You know, the free kind. All right. Let's read this. This will bring joy to some people. The New England Patriots have canceled their Friday practice and player interviews after a positive COVID-19 test, according to a source, and are also awaiting confirmation on a second positive test. Patriots plan to place reserve offensive lineman James Ferentz on the reserve COVID-19 list, according to ESPN. The Patriots are scheduled to host the Denver Broncos on Sunday. That game has been rescheduled from Week 5 after Patriots starting defensive tackle Byron Cowart tested positive 2 days before kickoff. All NFL games for this week remain on schedule, a league source told ESPN's Deanna Rossini today. Broncos coach Vic Fangio is under the assumption and the understanding the game will go off on time, and anything that happens otherwise will happen when it happens. Friday's positive test for the Patriots comes 1 day after quarterback Cam Newton, cornerback Stephon Gilmore, and practice defensive tackle Bill Murray practiced for the first time after being taken off the reserve COVID-19 list. Patriots have been scheduled to practice Friday at 1 p.m. Players previously said they had only been inside the facility for weightlifting the past few days, with all meetings being held virtually. Dolores Colbert says, that's what I said. It's not on TV. Yeah, come on, one of these games. The facility had been shut down Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday before players returned Wednesday for conditioning work. The team's first practice of the week was Thursday. Ferentz practiced on Thursday. On Wednesday, when the Patriots submitted a projected injury report, if they had practiced, they listed Ferentz as someone who would not have participated for non-injury reasons. Ferentz started at center and played every snap in the Patriots' 26-10 loss to the Chiefs on October 5th. It was his first action of the season. So, man, I don't want to hear no more about the Patriot way. You know? You guys disciplined as heck on the field. Maybe you could get you bottom of the third. Still, Atlanta 2, LA 0, man on first. Nobody out. Nobody. Let me go to that box score. Oops, Gamecast. Get with the Gamecast here. Give me the Gamecast, man. DiArno is still at the plate, and he has put the ball in play. That looks like he went. He singled to deep center. Ozuna goes to second. Still nobody out. Men on first and second. Not looking good for the Dodgers. And really not looking good for Dodger pitching at all. Albies comes to the plate. He's 0-1 with a strikeout. And I don't have any info on that yet. LA only one hit. Atlanta with 5, no errors yet in the ball game. And Dodgers got to get something going or they're going home with the best record in baseball. So I'm hoping Lynette Miller is not just going crazy. So May and Kelly so far pitching for the Dodgers. Minter has held the Dodgers scoreless for the Braves thus far. Albies grounds out to second. DiArno to second. Ozuna to third. One down now. Men at second and third for the Braves. In the bottom of the third. Tyler Schollenberger says, oh, you mean cheat to win? The only way Bill B can get the job done? Yes. The Cheatriots. The asterisk Patriots. Swanson at the plate now for the Rays. One down, minutes second and third. First pitch is on the way at some point, I assume, unless they're going to change pitchers for the Dodgers, which might not be a bad idea. I mean, we're only into the third inning, and they're already getting bashed around pretty good. I can't believe May only lasted 2 innings. Kelly's lasted a third. Okay. 2 down, bottom of the third. Sacrifice fly. Swanson sacrifices to right. Ozuna scores. DiArno stays at second. And there's 2 down now, but the Braves increase their lead to 3-0. Anyway, I think that's probably going to do it tonight for the Sports Spectacular. You guys can pick the ball game up on your local radio station or on your cable or satellite provider or pirate it from Reddit, whatever you guys want to do. That's going to do it for a week of sports here on the Sports Spectacular. We'll be back next week and we will see how our NFL and MLS predictions went and update you with everything going on in that pair of championship series. And of course, by then we'll know who's in the World Series. So with that being said, hope everybody has a great weekend. Morty Vicker, Dolores Colbert, Tyler Schollenberger. I've got to guess Rosie Williams might be listening to us. All of you, thank you so much for being here. As much as you have made this a lot of fun, and I wouldn't do it without you. That being said, all I can say for the weekend and for tonight is good night and good sports.